I am so excited. Beautiful souls, beautiful souls. I have got my beautiful Empress Yvonne. She has been on my show quite a few times. She is family to this show. She's always welcome. She always comes with the wisdom. I see her as one of my mentors. You know, she always brings so much spiritual wisdom. So I am going to introduce you to her. She is Empress Yvonne Douglas. Welcome in 2022. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while. I think we last spoke
2018, I think.
No, I'm sure it's before that. I'm sure we spoke during lockdown.
Okay. All right, we did. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. It's okay.
So please tell people about, because you do so many things. You're a best-selling author. You are an award-winning coach and counselor. Do you want to carry on from there?
Oh,
I know you're very humble.
Okay, so yes, I hail by the name of, like, my business name is like Starseed Alchemist, and I'm also a shamanic practitioner and healer. So I work with the elements, I work with the celestial beings and divine energy, and using a lot of the old indigenous ways of healing. So that, and I'm also a Second energy healer, which is very similar to Reiki.
Oh, the soul side, yeah.
So yes, I work deeply with the soul in the work that I do, and I'm a counselor as well. So I help people with a lot of trauma work and inner child work. So very
which
busy,
you're going to talk about today.
Yes, doing all of that stuff. Yes, that's oh, and yes, when was it? No, 2019. God, it's gone so quick.
I know, it seems like it was just yesterday, but we're talking like 3 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it was 2021. That's right.
Last year.
So it's been just over a year now. I qualified as a sacred celebrant. So I now also hold naming ceremonies, wedding ceremonies, and
beautiful.
Yes. So
oh wow.
Passing over ceremonies. So that's another.
Well done. Oh my gosh.
To my belt. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And what I've got a few questions, but before we go there, just, spirituality is really important to you. I've spoken to you many times. We've spoken on the show, off the show. Talk to us about how important it is for you to have found your spiritual calling, your purpose. Because it was a journey, wasn't it?
It's been a journey, but for me, it's kind of like up there on importance, because by finding it, it's helped me to find my purpose and actually live my purpose. Because I do feel that we are all here for a purpose. And when you go on that spiritual journey, that inner journey, you get to realize and what your purpose is, and then you can live it. And when you're living in your purpose, it's the most fulfilling existence you can have.
Beautiful. And I've got these questions, and we did say we were going to talk about the modern world, what's going on right now. So I know you've written books. I just want you to talk about, I know you've done some other books. You've done 4 books, haven't you? You've written 4. Yeah.
Yes.
So as an author, I just want to ask you quickly, what was that journey like?
As an author, it was a very interesting journey. It was never anything that I dreamt of doing. However, it all started where I was in recovery from addiction. And when I used to talk to people about my journey, part of my journey, they would all say it's really inspiring. And also I was in college doing a, an access course. And my tutor, when she read my essay, which was about 4,000 word essay, she said, "You have a really good knack for writing." I said, "Really?" She goes, "Yes, you do." And so I kind of married the inspiration, compliments and that together. And I just kind of started writing my book. It just kind of came, and I don't know, I felt like it was a bit divinely inspired as well. So
wow.
Yeah, and then I just wrote the book, and it doing really well still. People really love the book. You know, a lot of people say they can't put it down when they do pick it up. It does help people on their journey of recovery, healing, etc.
Beautiful.
And so from there, then yes, a couple of years later, I wrote another 2 books, and then in 2020, I published my last book, which is Journey
The
of Starseed.
Starseed, yes.
And that book was in the making for many years, but I was very reluctant to publish it.
That's very deep, yes.
Because it's very deep, and it's quite controversial if you're a Christian, because I came from a Christian background, and it really is the journey from Christianity to spirituality. But in 2020, I had that space to just really meditate, and it just complete, and it was very easy, and published it, and it became a bestseller.
And we are going to all the knowledge that you have, that is, and your writing is absolutely beautiful. You know, you can get really absorbed in what you're saying, and it's uplifting, as your, you know, words are as well.
Thank you.
So wow, so obviously all the wisdom that we just talked about, you're going to hear it in the answers to the questions that I'm going to ask, because these are not easy questions, but lovely Yvonne has got the answers. So I want to ask you about technology, because spirituality, where's technology within spirituality? Because some people say that technology has been, you know, has copied spirituality, you know, like the fact that we probably could be more telepathic, and you know, it's like even things like simple things like phone numbers. We used to be able to hold 10, 20 phone numbers. Now we've got it in our phones. So I want to hear your take. I just want to hear what you have to say.
It's a really interesting question, and I didn't really expect that question, but
it's
fine. But it's interesting, because you're right. Technology does copy what we can do. We only use a very small fraction of our brain anyway, and humans are ascending at a rate that is vast. We are becoming a lot more telepathic and psychic, as long as we do the work, which we'll talk about,
exactly, yes,
to open up that space so that we can get upgrades. So we're getting upgraded.
Yes.
We upgrade our phones, we upgrade our computers, don't we?
Absolutely.
And we upgraded. And if you look at Instagram and Facebook, I'm no longer on Facebook, but I know Instagram and Facebook are kind of like brother and sister.
Yes.
It says, what does it say? Does it say metaverse?
Yes, on Facebook, right. I think it's saying metaverse now. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a thing called the multiverse. And we travel in different dimensions. Yeah. So they are copying the natural order of things. Technology is copying, but what it's also doing is trying to suck people into their metaverse, when we multiverse. Yes. And it's so people can get so hooked and addicted and trapped into social media and technology, when actually there's another massive universe out there that we need to be more connected to. Absolutely.
And, you know, how do you feel about young people? Because I know you've got children, but how do you feel about young people and social media and technology? Do you feel they've born into it? Because I know from, you know, my side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel my heart goes out to young people, because they were born into it. When we were born, there were no mobile phones, you know. Nothing. We just relied on the public phone box outside, or the phone that we had in our home.
The house phone, the one phone that everybody had to use. Yeah.
And it is worrying, because so many people are attached to their phones. And, you know, people wake up in the morning, the first thing they do is they look at their phone. When they go to bed at night, the last thing they do is they look at their phone. When people are traveling on public transport, you look around and nearly everybody's on their phone. People are walking on the street and they're in their
crossing the road.
Yes.
On their phones, yeah.
So it stops the connection with others. And again, it's engineered by design. Because the more we connect as human beings, the more power is in our connection.
Absolutely.
And so we have to be very mindful and really try and unlearn the programming that's been done with social media and phones, and tried to be less attached to the phone.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And you said something there about, you know, more isolation. Well, how did you feel with the lockdown? What do you feel that has done to people in terms of, because I know you're very much an advocate of mental health, and a lot of people struggled and are still struggling.
Still struggling.
Yeah.
People are still struggling.
Still struggling, yeah.
And I mean, the lockdown, the positive side of lockdown is that it forced people to be still.
Very
and
much.
to be with self.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is something that a lot of people run away from. And when we're still and we're with self, we can really gather information about what's going on with us. We can connect to ourselves more. So that was the positive aspect of the lockdown.
Stillness, solitude,
being still,
silence.
Silence, meditating. When we're still, it gives us the opportunity to connect with what's going on inside, bring up stuff that needs to be dealt with. But the negative aspects of it is that a lot of people are now suffering with social anxiety. A lot of people felt very isolated, felt very disconnected from others. And so it has caused a bit of a disconnection from people. And a lot of people have got anxiety and depression. You know, since lockdown, I have never been so busy in my practice. It's been phenomenal with the amount of people that are seeking help for their mental health and for their spiritual growth, and wanting answers with what's going on with them, especially on the spiritual level.
And that, you know, brings us to, you know, the waking up, the ascension, you know, I'm hearing, and I don't know, I was listening to something yesterday, and the woman was saying that we are moving into new times. And I thought, if anyone knows about these new times, I feel it, but I know you know, and you can explain it to us. So talk to us about these new times. What's going on over the next few days, few weeks? A new cycle. Yeah.
It's a new cycle. The Earth is going through a new cycle. The other planets surrounding us are going through a new cycle. The universe is going through a new cycle. And these cycles are quite natural. They happen every thousands and thousands of years. And so we're going through a new cycle where Mother Earth is cleansing. Okay, so that means also that humanity who reside on Mother Earth are also going through a great cleansing period.
Yes. Yeah.
So in some respects, the lockdown, and since the lockdown, even before then, we have been going through a lot. And a lot of people will say, yes, we have been going through a lot. But it's not also a bad thing, because we've needed to wake up to the reality of what is going on, what the media portray as true. We need to wake up to that. So a lot of things that have been going on underground in the underbelly of Mother Earth have been uncovered, like all the child trafficking, all the paedophilia, all the fake stuff that's just been horrendous. What humanity have been sitting on
for so long,
centuries. But so it's not just humanity that's sitting on. So as a collective, we've been sitting on also,
indeed.
Also as individuals, we've been sitting on a lot of our stuff.
Crap.
So it's time for it's all coming up now. It's all being revealed. Whatever happens in the darkness
has to come out in the light.
Has to come to light, and that's what's going on. And it's happening now because we are going through a great ascension. We are going through upgrades. We are becoming more telepathic, more psychic, more spiritual. We are elevating so that we can actually have more of a relationship with more celestial beings that live in other dimensions. It's really, it's a time like no other. And if we take this opportunity to clear and cleanse our physical body, our etheric body, our soul body, our emotional body, we will benefit from the new energy, the Christ energy, that is coming in, the violet flame energy,
Yes.
all of these energies that have been coming in, like the lion's gate, every so often it's like it's happening so much. But if we're not clearing and cleansing the shadow stuff, we're not going to benefit from those upgrades. And then there's going to be a bit of a split.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. As so many people are waking up, there's so many people that are dumbed down and so stuck. It's like we are literally on two different worlds.
Planes.
Yeah.
It is like that. And when there are times when I go out and about and I'm in a particular crowd and I'm like, this doesn't feel, and it's like, because those people are more in the 3D world, whereas I'm more in the fifth dimension.
Yes.
And you can really feel it. And
the difference, the energy. Yes. Yeah. Wow. I want to ask you about the sisterhood. Is there a sisterhood? Has there ever been a sisterhood? How can we, as women around the world, women of all groups, we're Black women, how can we put ourselves back together and realize how important we are on the planet as we move into higher dimensions?
The sisterhood is so important. There has been sisterhood in times past, and for right now it's very important that women heal their wounds. Heal your mother wound, your father wound, and any other wounds that you may have, sexual trauma. Heal those wounds so that you can feel comfortable in and amongst other women, so that you're not triggered, so that you don't feel insecure around other women, so that you don't feel jealous around other women. Heal those wounds so that we can come together, because when women come together, it's a powerful thing. At the moment, it's the rise of the divine feminine energy, not just within women, but also within men.
Yeah, men have it too, yes.
Right? That energy is so powerful. That is the energy that allows us to be telepathic, to be psychic, to just connect to the divine, the all-knowing knowledge that we all hold within us. When we connect to that and come together as sisters, things will start to really shift big time. So it's vital that women heal their wounds so that sisterhoods can come together. And I've actually started running sisterhood circles in London. And my aim is for them to grow, grow. And it's a safe space, because it's really important that women feel safe in the spaces that they come in, so that they can be vulnerable.
Yes, not being hard or having to wear that shield. Yes, take off that mask.
Yes. The patriarchy sort of damage that women have is that they feel that they have to be strong all the time. But we need to understand that it's important. It's okay to be vulnerable. And it's the same for men. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's a strength to be vulnerable, because when we hide our vulnerability, we're putting on a mask. And and then it can show up as ego. And ego is only something that we've all, as humans, have developed in order to protect us, to protect our hearts, protect ourselves from hurt. But actually, the more we do the work, the more we let go of ego. The ego has to die. It has to die. And when it dies, it's because your heart is opening and you're operating from your heart space. This is the spiritual age. This is the new paradigm where our hearts rule, and our hearts are very powerful.
And people are waking up to that. A lot more people are, you can talk about this stuff in public now. A few years back, it wasn't possible. People didn't really want to hear it, And do you feel that even people who, because I know you talked about religion earlier on, do you feel even people who are religious, do you feel even a lot of them are kind of waking up to the fact that, there's more than just dogma?
They are. They absolutely are. I've got quite a few clients who are moving away from religion and coming into spirituality.
Wow.
Because there is too much dogma in religion. And, you know, even in like the Bible, there's been so many books that have been taken out of the Bible, which means you can't really understand the Bible in its full entirety.
Because there's things missing.
If there's things missing, then it doesn't make, it's not really right. It's not complete. So the things like the Book of Enoch is about esotericism.
Yes.
The Book of Mary is about women and the power of women.
Women, yeah. Women
the
are
Book
not.
of Maccabees is about revolution.
Wow. See, that's not turn the cheek.
And there are a few more books. So yes, so we can't be so, what's the word, glued to the Bible, because there's other elements.
We need the other books.
We need the other parts.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Wow. So is there anything else you want to say on that? Because it's already powerful, and we're half an hour in, and I'm like,
I know
I got more to ask you.
I can't believe the time already. It's going so quickly. But no, that's absolutely fine. I know it's just snippets, but
yes,
hopefully it's enough to whet people's appetite.
Because I'm going to get you to talk about your book, the Starseed, because people need to have that book. But what I want to ask you about young people, the young generation. I know you said earlier on you are concerned, and what I want to ask you. The young people now, do you feel that they've come on this planet and they were already awake? When I say awake, they came with something. They came, ready for 5D world. But somebody has put things together, and now they're on social media. Now they're on, and So I want to ask you, how do you feel about what's going on with young people? And I also want you to touch on the violence of that is going into young women now, young women against young women, and the good things, because there's a lot of good things with young people. So it's not all bad.
No, it's not all bad. A lot of young people have come in as indigo and crystal children, very awake, but unfortunately the system that we come into, as we come into planet Earth, the vortex of planet Earth, it then, depending on your parents, it then dumbs you, it shuts you down, and you then have to try and remember who you are by going through a process and a purge and a metamorphosis, etc. We've all had to do it, to be fair, and so it's really sad for the young people, because they come with such bright lights, and then it gets dimmed. It gets dimmed, and they need to learn, and as I said, remember who they are. Some of them, because of the parents that they have, they've been able to stay awake, and they can see, and they've got this warrior spirit. I've always said that a lot of the gang members, they have a warrior spirit.
I agree totally.
It's a warrior spirit that they have, because on some level their soul knows that they're here to fight, and they're here to fight for humanity and the preservation of humanity.
I agree.
And our souls, which has been under attack, but they've got it. But because of the way society is, they've got them fighting each other.
They've lost their path a little bit, but
they have lost their path. So they need that guidance back to self.
Yes.
And it because they have come to change the pathway for humanity.
Because
to open up the new paradigm.
They're the leaders of tomorrow, and they are going to take us into 5th, 6th and beyond. That's why they came here.
That's why they came here, and they are beautiful souls.
I agree.
But unfortunately, the human conditioning has messed a lot of them up, like it has done us.
Of course, because I believe we all came here, with a purpose. But we get programmed along the way, and now we have to spend years, decades deprogramming,
and we
don't get to stay here long enough. because, people are like, oh, I'm this age, I'm that age. And by the time you get, it's like someone is shutting down our ability to stay here long enough to be able to impact,
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
yeah. Wow.
Absolutely. So I would recommend that everyone go on this inner journey, put down the guns, the knives, and stop being so angry, stop operating from the ego, and just do the work, do the inner work. And it will make such a difference in your life.
How young women and, the sisterhood, as we said earlier, there's problems there. But at the same time, when we do come together, it is very powerful. What is going on with the violence with young women against young women? Because I don't know, my time, I don't really remember it so much. Never really came across it.
But there was bickering and jealousy and things like that. But the violence against each other, I mean, you just mentioned the young lady.
Shaniqua.
Shaniqua. I saw posts about her, people giving her tribute, but I actually didn't know what happened because I don't watch the news. I don't have
a TV. Nothing.
I don't have TV license.
So me too.
So just hearing that, it's really, really sad. And to know that her actual friends did that to her.
Yeah.
Now, we are in a spiritual warfare. People are being psychically attacked. People are being possessed by dark entities.
I agree. It's hard to.
This is what's happened to those women that did that to this young lady.
I believe that. There were women and men, actually. There were 2 men and 3 women. Yeah.
They are possessed. Let me tell you, I've been doing some depossession work in my practice. People are walking around with dark entities in them and around them, and they do not know. Now, so dark entities get into you when you have trauma, when you've been in shock, when any kind of thing that's happened to you, when you take drugs and you may go off somewhere and it's like,
because you've gone somewhere.
You've gone somewhere, so you've created space for something else to come into you. And this is what you're doing when you're taking drugs and going off your head. Be very careful. And I would also say to people, be very careful when you go for plant medicines. Make sure that the shaman that is holding space knows what they're doing. So many people, like the new age, are getting really, I went for an ayahuasca. I went for they keep going for ayahuasca. You don't have to keep going for ayahuasca because if you go once and you get the message, what are you then doing?
You need to do that. Do what you
that. Some people just want to get high. Be very careful. Escape. And be very careful also about going on the spiritual path if you haven't done enough shadow work. Because again, you can attract dark entities because you've still got too much darkness
inside.
Inside.
And I totally agree, because sometimes it's like spirituality can be used as a comfort blanket, like a comfort. Like people don't want to do the work. Everyone wants to be spiritual, but nobody wants to do the work, as you were saying earlier on.
Absolutely. It's spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing.
Just like jumping, rather than step. Yeah.
Absolutely. You cannot become spiritually enlightened if you haven't done your shadow work.
People are scared of the shadow.
Anyone can challenge me on that. You can challenge me on that.
You're right.
And I'll tell you, you cannot be spiritually enlightened if you haven't done your shadow work.
And that brings me, I want to just jump back to religions, because religions don't really deal with, what would you say when it comes to shadow work? We talk about the devil.
They don't talk about it enough. Sorry. Yes. They talk about the devil like, there are devilish entities out there, but
when they say Jesus saved you and now everything is okay.
Listen, Jesus can't save nobody. Sorry, this is my ancestors coming through now. You save yourself. Your savior is yourself. People are relying on this other outward energy or person to come and save them. That's lazy.
Not doing the work.
Laziness.
Not doing the work.
Not doing the work. We are our own savior. We are our own guru. Okay? We need to do the work and save ourselves. The returning of Christ is not the returning of a person. It's the Christ consciousness.
Yes, yes.
It's the energy. And yes, we're getting help from our celestial beings and the energies that are coming through, but we still have to do the work. There's no getting away from it. No getting away from it. And my heart goes out to people who are not doing the work.
That's what I want to ask you quickly.
Not going to be good. It's like it's going to be like you're walking dead.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Talk to us about, just briefly, what is the work? Because people, people don't. I don't think. Yes, yeah. What is the work? Yes, because people think the shadow work is something. Oh, I don't want to look at that. I rather, because I know people who's, and I do look at law of attraction, but I know sometimes of this, you know, with these positive things, people don't want to look at the other side. It's like, oh, I don't want to know about it. Let's just stay positive.
You can't do that.
Your ancestors, hello.
The law of attraction only works if you do the shadow work. Because some people say, oh, I've tried the law of attraction, it doesn't work.
That's they haven't done the work. Yeah.
So the shadow work is looking at your dysfunctional behavior, looking at your insecurities, looking at your triggers, looking at your traumas. So if you grew up with your parents, say they were together, you think you had a good childhood, you went on holidays and stuff like that, yet you still feel insecure sometimes, you still get anxious sometimes, you may drink too much sometimes, or
do things that don't.
That's an indication that there's something wrong. Okay?
Yes.
It's just your body, yourself showing up saying, there's something wrong. Go to therapy and explore it. Okay?
Yes.
No human is exempt. No human is exempt from having to do the shadow work.
Everybody has to
Everybody
do it.
needs to do it. But the fact that you became a human, the fact that your soul chose to come here and have the human experience means your soul wants to go on a journey of growth and expansion. And in order to do that, you have to experience the human condition. And so explore your inner self, and all of your answers are within you. They are within you, beloved.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Just stop being proud. Be humble. Let go of the ego, and just go on an inner exploration and release all the trauma, release the pain, and allow your heart to grow.
And that's the thing, you have to feel it to heal it. And that's what people are scared of. People don't want to feel it. They want to, they just want to be like, well, tell me something new, or, you know, there must be something, you know.
You've got to feel
there must be something I can take or something I can do. People don't want to be in that, you know, they don't want to be there with it. Yeah.
I'll tell you this though, the pain that you will experience is not half as bad as the pain of the experience that you had in the first place.
Yes. Yeah.
You've gone through the worst, but where you have suppressed anything, it's still in you, playing out in your life. So it's playing out with the dysfunctional behaviors, with the awful feelings that you have about yourself, the way you talked about yourself, all these things. It's playing out. It's playing out in your relationships.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's not going to be as bad as the original experience, but you do have to feel it to release it, because you've swallowed it and it's in there. You need to release it. And there is so much relief from the crying and the releasing. I've cried, I've screamed,
get it out.
I've been on the floor. Listen. Yeah.
People are scared of that. They're just,
There's
and
nothing wrong with it.
what I want, you just mentioned relationship there, just very quickly, because I know time is, I can't believe the time, but yeah, relationship, people coming in with the baggage, you know, they're coming in with their stuff, the other person's coming in with their stuff. Can people have a healthy relationship with having not done the shadow work and not healed and not let go and not felt the pain and released it?
Oh, really? I don't think so.
Because the work that I do is around relationship, but
right,
people don't want to even think about it. It's more like, when is he coming back? Or, do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's going to be hard. And even if he comes out 10 times, if that space is not free, you know?
a lot of relationships, some work. Some people don't have as much lessons to learn, so they may find a partner where their relationships flourish, or some just settle.
Yes, I suspect there's a lot more settling though.
Settling,
yeah.
But deep down, there's not a real deep happiness and
fulfillment,
and excitement and fulfillment in that relationship. So, and also some relationships are there to help you learn and grow.
Yes, to heal.
Some relationships are mirrors of you, that's showing you what you need to look at.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So whenever you're in a relationship, and if it doesn't work, I always say to people, what did I learn from this? How have I grown from this?
That's powerful.
What will I now not accept in the next relationship? And that's a brilliant way to look at, to deal with a failed relationship. It's not failed, it's just,
I don't believe that relationships fail. I feel every relationship has been part of the journey.
Yes, part of the journey. You know, and not every relationship is meant to be forever.
No,
as we've been sold,
and that's why women are so stressed and depressed. No matter how much they achieve in life, they're still sort of, but the relationship or what have you.
Yeah, because what they're doing is, and we have been brainwashed, especially women, into thinking that it's all about the relationship with the man. When we look at all the fairy tales,
I know,
Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, and all that stuff.
Yes, yeah.
But actually, the most important relationship is the relationship you have with yourself.
Yes. Because that's the thing, when you think about it, what is a good relationship? Two people who have a good relationship with themselves first, and they come together whole.
That's
you don't even really need to do relationship anything. You just need to do the work on yourself. And once you're whole, you're gonna, and that's the thing, attraction. Talk to people quickly about attraction, because can you be someone who's done the work, and can you still attract someone who's, because I feel sometimes people want to, you know, like soul sponges, they can see that someone's full and they're hungry souls, and they want,
it can happen, and it does happen. It's happened to me. You know, done a lot of work, still attracted a narcissist. But
people are really shocked by that though when that happens. When people tell me how can that happen to me? You know,
because as empaths, sensitive souls, your heart is huge. You have a lot of love to give. You have a lot of tolerance. But a lesson that needs to be learned is that you have to give that all to yourself first.
Yeah.
And until you learn that, you will attract those vampires.
Yeah.
Energy vampires.
That's exactly what I see them.
Yeah.
And so
it's because you haven't yet learned that self-love. There's self-love is going around a lot. How to love myself. It's such a fundamental thing. It sounds so simple, right?
Yes.
But so many humans do not know how to love themselves.
Because it's loving yourself emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, everything. Acceptance. Absolutely. And how many of us accept everything about ourselves?
Not many.
No.
Not many. And it's also about being selfish. And a lot of people think being selfish is not right.
Well, I call it self-full. I said, if I'm not full, then how can I give to all these people? Yeah,
absolutely.
It's not selfish. You know, women have been made to be like that for so many
Yeah, this is the
generations.
problem.
Give to everyone else and nothing for me.
Mm-hmm. And that is the problem,
Yeah.
where women have been givers and givers, nurturers, natural, but we have to give to ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I want to talk to you about trauma and the inner child, because I know you do a lot of that work with your clients.
Yes, yes.
And can you talk to us about the different traumas that you have seen in your clients? You know, what you feel comfortable sharing, of course.
I mean, you know, and I think it's actually a lot of humanity actually that have been through lots of these different types of traumas, and I myself have. There's sexual trauma, so where you've been sexually molested or abused, or where there's been sexual inappropriateness, because some people don't like to call it sexual abuse because they feel like they don't want to come under that category. But
yes,
but if there's been sexual inappropriateness, then that's also not right.
Yes.
That's not right. That's trauma.
That's taking your power.
Exactly. It's all taking your power, and then it affects your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and other chakras actually.
Yes.
And then there's emotional neglect. So where you've not been allowed to express your emotions, that's a trauma, especially if you're sensitive and you've had to learn how to manage them yourself or shut them down. That is a deep, deep trauma that a lot of people have. Because it stops, because it makes you think that there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, you don't.
And then you carry shame.
You implode. Yes, yeah.
Absolutely. And so many people are ashamed of their emotions. That's a big trauma. You've also got mother wound, where your mother may get jealous of you because you're trying to shine your light, but because she didn't get to shine her light, she then gets triggered by you.
Wow. Yeah, you hear so much about that as well.
Right. Wow. And then there's the daddy wound, absent father. There's also absent mother. There's mental health. If any of your parents suffered mental health issues and they weren't able to provide for you emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. There's addiction. If your parents were addicts, and then that would have affected you as a child as well. Oh, there's so many. There's so much.
I know.
Yeah, and if you were raised by narcissistic parents, you will have a narcissistic wound.
Can I ask you about that? Because has that always been there? Because we're hearing so much about narcissism, and some people are saying because of the way the world is with social media and all these things. But would you say in your practice, has it always been there, or would you say you're seeing more of it today than ever before?
I think it's being talked about more. It's becoming more apparent. It's a bit like what's been unearthed. Yeah. So like where I was talking about what's been unearthed, narcissism is also being unearthed. We are also being led by you know, the 1%. They're all narcissists and sociopaths, you know.
Oh yes.
And so we've kind of gotten used to being
under
controlled and under their thumb. So many people are kind of used to it, but not realizing that they've been in a narcissistic relationship. Now we all have elements of narcissism.
It's a spectrum,
but there's a spectrum. So some people are fully blown narcissists. Some people aren't so, but it still affects you. And then there's like covert narcissism,
sort of
where it's
subtle,
really hidden. It's very subtle and really hidden. And so that's why it's really important to know thyself.
Yes,
and to heal thyself.
Yeah, the most powerful thing you can do. It's a superpower, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a superpower.
What I'm going to ask you about the narcissist who can't be healed. What can we do? Because that person is roaming and is going to go from relationship to relationship. How can people spot a narcissist? I know we haven't got much time, and I know it's a very deep question to ask. What would you say? Just a couple of things that you would say to somebody.
Firstly, I'm going to say that because people are saying narcissists can't be healed. I'm not going to agree with that, because I feel
Thank you. I'm so happy to hear you. That's why I asked you.
Right. Because anything can be healed. Everything is energy. Yeah. The narcissist has to know that they're a narcissist and have to. It's a bit like going to like AA and saying, hi, I'm so and so, and
Yeah,
I'm a
you say the
narcissist.
name, say the
Yeah,
name.
and I'm a
Yeah.
narcissist, right? And so they have to admit to that, but also
Mhm.
really want to do the work and heal.
Mm,
And it will
mhm.
take a long time. That's all I know. And it will take different modalities, and they will
Mhm.
definitely need shamanic healings along the way,
Wow.
and intense psychotherapy, like psychodynamic,
Mm.
all kinds. And as long as they're willing, it can happen.
So what I want to ask you here quickly, what I've heard is one of the reasons why is because most people when they hear narcissism, they think, oh, I wonder if I've got it, or wonder, but they say the real narcissist, that, you know, the one that is fully blown, they're the last person to even say, oh, I'm not a narcissist.
Yeah,
And is
they
that
wouldn't
what?
admit it.
Yeah, is that
It's
what?
very hard for them to admit it, for sure.
Right, right.
It is very hard for them to admit it, because again, a narcissistic wound is where you are also protecting
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You've just done it in a different way to say maybe an empath who will be
Yes.
all out there helping other people, whereas a narcissist will be all out there grabbing
Taking
people
from
and
people.
taking.
Yes.
But they're
Yes.
still wounded, and they're still protecting
Mm.
themselves, deeply wounded. So yeah, it's and for those to spot a narcissist, if they come in and they call it love bombing. So they come in quite
Yes.
quickly, and
Mm-hmm. They
they
want to.
shower you with gifts and shower you with compliments, and quite
Yeah.
get you
Yeah.
quickly on side. And then
Mm-hmm.
they will also try and start talking about your friends and family and try and turn you against them.
Isolate you.
Yeah,
Yes.
isolate you from them very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and so the best way to guard yourself is to heal yourself. And the more you heal, the more you're able to trust your intuition and trust your
Yeah.
gut. And your gut will just say,
Not this
stay
one.
away, stay away, stay
Yeah.
away.
Next. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, that's what, yeah.
Wow. So I've got one more thing I'd like to do, but before you do that for us, and you're leaving us with this wonderful gift. But can you tell people about your where to find you, your wonderful website, the different things that you're doing, events, workshops, whether online, offline. Yeah, talk to
Okay,
people about what are you, and also, can you share a word? I know you've given us so many
okay,
gems, but just something that people can take away when they watch it. In they're
okay.
going to be watching it many different times.
Yes,
So
okay,
it will be
okay, fantastic. So, people can find me online, YvonneJDouglas.com. And if you Google that, then it will show you like my LinkedIn,
everything.
that's
Mm-hmm.
my Instagram, well, my website as well. I'm currently, as I say, doing sister circles in London. I'm not doing any more this year, obviously because we're near the end of the year, but they will restart probably in February. I am planning to do some retreats as well. And also, it would be nice to hear from people, because I'm actually, I don't know if you know about human design.
I have heard about it.
It's
Can
pretty
you
good, actually.
tell us a
It's,
little bit? I
it
know.
just, it's got categories. So you're either a generator, a manifesting generator, a manifester, a reflector, or a projector.
Oh my
And
gosh.
those 5 elements make up the human race. And the majority of us are generators. And I'm a generator, which means I can work. I'm a worker kind of thing. But also part of my makeup is that I respond to people. And so in the work that I do, I respond.
Yes.
So I don't necessarily need to go out there and try and get clients, this, that, and the other. I'm just to respond.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask the audience that are listening, what do you feel you need from someone like me? And let me know.
Wow.
Just
And
let me
they
know.
and
Then
they
I
can
can
reach
create
you.
that.
They can
And
reach you on
they can reach me via my website, and
Okay.
they can or on Instagram. They can let me know, and then I can create that for them. And
Beautiful.
so what else? So I'm doing ancestral healings. I'm doing soul retrievals for people, because again, when you suffer trauma, parts of your soul essence goes off, and then you're going around not feeling whole, not feeling
Broken.
quite
Yes.
yourself.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so as a shamanic practitioner, I go searching for those soul parts and bring them back and integrate them back into you.
I love that.
And then the ancestral healing, again, that's also very
Mm.
powerful, because we carry a lot of our ancestral trauma. So it can go back many generations, the healing can. So that's also something that I'm doing. I'm doing past life regressions for people as well.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yes, so those are the things that I'm doing at the moment. What was the other thing you asked me?
Yes, can you share a word? And then you're
word.
going to do a beautiful meditation. You've got 5 minutes. You know, just anything that you would like to share with people as they, you know, they're going on their journey. You know, lots of things are happening.
Right. Yes.
And yeah.
Okay. The word is surrender.
Oh, yes.
Surrender.
Let go. Stop being so uptight. Yeah. Stop holding on.
Absolutely. Let go and surrender to the divine, and know that all will be well, and you will be held. Surrender.
Beautiful.
Powerful word. Surrender.
I love that word. It's a beautiful word, because it lets you feel that if I surrender, I'm going to be taken care of. I'm going to be fine. Yeah. Absolutely. I don't have to worry. Let go. Absolutely. Let the universe or your guides do the heavy lifting.
Yes, they're there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, the universe always conspires for our greatest good and the highest good.
Yeah.
But sometimes we're there just trying to control things, and we're not.
Yeah, we just focus on the problem. Look. Yeah.
So, yes.
Wow. Empress Yvonne, I've really enjoyed having your presence. We have got 3 minutes, and I would like you to leave a gift with us. You do these beautiful meditations, and if you would be so kind as to share, we'll be really appreciating.
No problem. Okay, I'll try and be quick. So I'd like you to just close your eyes and just take in some deep, relaxing breaths. Just breathing in the breath of life, your life force. Just slowing everything down, connecting to your divine essence, coming out of your head and into your heart space. If your mind is rattling with thoughts, just allow them to come and go. Don't question them, but to just focus on your breathing. Just practicing this daily will help you to connect to your divine essence, to receive the answers within you. Slowing it down, feeling calm, feeling at peace, relaxing, releasing, reflecting. And in this space, you may just want to ask your guides or the divine, what shall I focus on for my highest good right now? Feel, hear, or see the answer to your question. We all have different gifts and different ways of communicating with spirit. Find your way and develop that. Celestial beings want to help you. Allow them to help you and surrender to their help. Just allow yourself to slowly come back to full waking consciousness.